Hello and welcome to today's video. A little bit later than usual, just taking some time out to enjoy the school holidays with my girls, but I'm here with you to talk about how you can overcome emotional eating and stress eating during menopause, because I want to actually get started by acknowledging that emotional challenges can be part of menopause itself, because obviously we know menopause is a natural phase of life, but with the shift in hormones often comes a huge range of all sorts of different emotions, which essentially is part of the journey. But it's knowing how to deal with those shift in hormones that will allow you to continue focusing on weight management without eating the whole bag of cookies, or without self-sabotaging your journey. So that's why today's video is entirely dedicated to explore some strategies together that can help you manage the emotional aspect of menopause, especially in relation to stress and emotional eating. Because if we come from a place of awareness and we can actually address those aspects, you are in a place where you can implement those strategies and essentially will find it a lot easier to help with weight management, and also those that are looking to drop weight as well, because you're not suddenly overeating, over consuming, and you're cutting out the emotional aspect. So it's a really big topic, and it's often not really part of what's being talked about. So but actually, if you talk to a lot of women like I do, you'll find that those transitioning through perimenopause and menopause do suffer with more anxiety than usual. They get the mood swings, a lack of sleep. All of those things can drive you to want to eat more, and also eat more comforting food. So it's really important for you to start with some awareness, and start looking at your eating patterns and creating the connecting the dots, so then your triggers, so then you can implement some strategies to help you overcome. Because we all do, we all deal with emotional eating to a degree, but it's how you navigate your way around those triggers, and what you put in place. Ultimately, that's what's going to determine your level of success, and also at the speed that you will reach your goals. I've got Bruna sitting here next with me today, keeping an eye on things. So we want to literally focus on managing stress. So if you've been following me for quite some time, you always hear me talk about how when women transition through perimenopause and menopause, their bodies become a little bit more sensitive towards stress. And we're not talking obvious stresses, just being busy and dealing with different things, and perhaps a lack of sleep, and all of those things can elevate cortisol levels, which sends the body some signals in terms of trying to hold on to the weight rather than letting go of it. So by you actually working on those stress levels as much as you can with some simple techniques, which I'm about to share with you shortly, you can actually really help support your body, and also avoid emotional eating at the same time. So some of you might already be doing some meditation, but there's so many different ways you can meditate. And I know it always sounds a bit sort of cliche, but it is really, really effective. And there have been some studies to literally show how the body instantly reduces cortisol production. And it's just a great way to either start your day or to finish your day. So if you're struggling with getting a good night's sleep, and you are, taking care of other family members, or you've got a busy job and you're struggling to get a good night's sleep, I would recommend incorporating some meditation towards the end of your day as opposed to the beginning of the day. You will find it's going to be really, really beneficial to help you have a better night's sleep, essentially. Deep breathing, this is one of my favorites, because it can be done anywhere, anytime, and within a few minutes you can adjust like meditation, but it's almost like lightning speed, that you can reduce and manage stress. And also things like having like a cool down and a wind down period in the evenings, like taking a hot bath, can be really, really good to lower the body's natural stress response, and to essentially stop you from reaching out for the chocolate that's in the cupboard or the bag of cookies. Another really big thing to slowly focus on, and we're all guilty of eating on the go, or eating while scrolling our phones, or whilst watching the news, but really having that connection with food and being present and mindful. This actually goes for anything in life. It's nowadays with all those with the technology and social media and all those aspects around us, it's very hard to be present in the moment. But it's actually huge when it comes to weight loss itself, because when you build that connection with food, you learn to listen to your hunger cues and your fullness cues. Because half of the time, for example, we think we're hungry, but we're actually thirsty, or we might get to the point where our metabolism slows down and we just don't feel hungry anymore. So the more that you can be in tune with your body and have that kind of intuitive approach towards consuming your food, and really savoring every mouthful when you do have a bit of chocolate or a glass of wine, really allows you to be present. And also, and this is the part I love about mindful eating, it removes the guilt, and it just means you are actually able to enjoy your food a lot more. So you just want to make sure that you are present, that you don't eat on the go, and that you don't have any distractions happening around you. So with that will actually come a great benefit, that you will be able to distinguish whether it is physical hunger that you are experiencing, or emotional hunger. And this is something that a lot of women can struggle with, because if you lose touch with that intuitive approach, after quite some time you just don't know anymore. And it's really important to understand, like I'm really hungry because I'm cold right now, or I'm really hungry because I had a bad night's sleep. I'm really hungry because I'm stressed or bored or lonely or frustrated. Whatever emotion is that you are going through, it takes us back to coming from a place of awareness. And once you actually have that dialed in, okay, well, I'm experiencing this hunger, and yes, it is emotional hunger, and yes, I can distract myself, or no, it is actually physical hunger, and it isn't any of the above that we just mentioned. So that's generally how you start with creating awareness, and that is being able to distinguish between physical hunger and emotional hunger. So yeah, let me know if this resonates with you. I find it super helpful, and I know it's also helpful for my clients, like being able to check in and actually figure out, okay, why am I wanting to rate the cupboards, or why am I still hungry even though I just had a big meal? Yeah, and then to carry on from this, once you know if it is physical or emotional hunger, you can then eliminate those cravings and the desire to have those comforting foods. So generally when we get cravings, it's either for something comforting, such as comfort foods. That could be something from your childhood, or it can be just simply craving some chocolate, or craving a bit of cake. So it just basically means that you can distract yourself. So once you know there is that emotional connection, physical activity is great. So just going out for a walk, doing a little bit of dancing around the house, yoga, all of those are a great way to manage stress and to enhance the endorphin production, that feel good hormone that you get from exercise. Now, I understand that might not always be practical to say, oh, I go and do a yoga session right now to distract myself from food, but it's just one of the many ways that you can help navigate emotional eating and managing those stress levels. So another really good way to look at it is anything that brings relaxation. So especially towards the end of the day, we're talking progressive muscle gentle relaxation, guided imagery, taking a warm bath to promote relaxation. These are all really great ways to reduce stress and to get you in that relaxed state, ultimately helping you overcome, you know, the urge to overeat, especially if it's sort of after dinner time. And then there is things like, you know, seeking social support. So you want to be able to connect with your friends and family members, even, you know, the likes of your support groups like our Facebook group here, or the YouTube community, or other social media platforms, and the people around you. And, you know, you want to be able to share not only your experience, but also listen to other people's experience. And that's why it's really important to, you know, not just talk about nutrition and exercise when it comes to weight loss during menopause, but really actually accepting the fact that yes, our mood you know, is hugely impacted when we transition through perimenopause and menopause, and so is anxiety and the lack of sleep, and all of those things just basically create a knock-on effect that can make you more hungry, because your hunger hormones become off, or simply for your body to calm itself down, to seek comfort, because food, let's be honest, is very comforting. But it is all about, you know, identifying your trigger points, and it's not just that you can put yourself in just any one category. It's usually a number of things that apply, and it can change from time to time as well. So it's always really good to check in with yourself, see what resonates, what's showing up for you, even if it means, like, you know, writing things down in a journal, documenting when you felt like you're suddenly really hungry, because initially you might not be able to connect the dots straight away, but after a while you'll be able to see a pattern. So for example, if I'm lacking sleep, say if I'm only down like an hour or two from my usual 8-hour sleep routine, guaranteed I'm going to be more hungry the following day. Or if I'm cold and I've been out for like a walk, that tends to make me hungry as well. So it's not just always the obvious emotions. It's just being able to have that intuitive approach to, you know, reading the signals, the signs, and why your body is making you want to reach out for food, to seek that comfort. And then I would just encourage you to implement, you know, start with any of those strategies that we have talked about, whether it's physical activity, relaxation techniques, or seeking, you know, that social network, the social support. But you basically want to remove yourself from that situation, take a deep breath, maybe have a glass of water, distract yourself for 10 minutes, and then check back in, because nothing at the end of the day, and that's the approach that I swear by, is that you don't want to deprive yourself, and that you do want to have that balance, but you don't want to drastically undereat, and we also don't want you to drastically overeat. So hopefully this has been helpful. If any of that, you know, was of value to you, I would appreciate you to give me a thumbs up, and even comment below what you want to focus on going forwards, and what you found the most useful advice in this video. And don't forget to make sure you follow me and or subscribe, so that you don't miss another video, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.